And at this time, I have the privilege of turning over the remainder of our session to the current chair of the Women in Deep Foundation Committee with the DFI, and that's Helen Robinson.
Thanks, Morgan. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the Women in Deep Foundations Committee and also to introduce a guest speaker. So our Women in Deep Foundations Technical Committee was established in 2014. It's the brainchild of Mary Ellen Large and David Coleman. Since then, we've grown into a wonderful community of men and women. That's right, men are on the committee too. And we're supporting women in the deep foundations industry. So I think we can all agree that geotechnical engineering and the deep foundations industry are challenging. Probably we wouldn't be here if we weren't challenged by it and excited by it. But it's challenging for different reasons for different people. And some of the challenges that face women in particular haven't yet been addressed. So these are the things that we're trying to highlight and share, because sometimes being aware of something, that there's an issue, can be the most powerful tool to combat that problem. So you might be sitting here thinking, well, this doesn't really apply to me, it's not relevant to me, but have you ever been in a position where you've lost an employee that was a great employee, really contributed, and you had put a lot of time, invested a lot of time into training them, into, sending them to training sessions, and then they left. They went to another firm. Could you even quantify that could you quantify that for your company and put a number on that? It would probably be a huge number. But we know that women are leaving the industry, and we don't exactly know why. We have some theories, but it's sort of a complex problem. And so if you think about it, it is important to you. It's important to everybody that we have a diverse workforce that is engaged and interested and wants to be there, and when we can realize the investment that we've made. So I would say that it is relevant for everyone here. So one company that I'd like to highlight today has been addressing the challenges that women face in a very active way, and that's Moretrench with their FEM program. And they were the premier sponsor of our reception last night. So here to tell us about the program is Johnna Emanuel. She graduated from Bucknell University with a degree in civil engineering. She's been with Moretrench for 3 years. She's a staff engineer, and she's done so much in these 3 years. She's been working on micropile projects in Boston, 2 ground freezing projects in Seattle. She assisted with starting their drilled shaft division, and she's currently preparing to be the project engineer on an upcoming ground freezing project in Long Island. Please welcome Johnna.
Thank you, Helen. Again, my name is Johnna Emanuel, and I'm a staff engineer at Moretrench. And piggybacking off what Helen said, if you ever ask yourself, why are there these female groups? Why do we need them? Why are they important? If you look at, I can't get the pointer up, but in this picture, that's basically an example. This is me 3 years ago on my first project in Boston, right out of college. And I was the only female out of the 17 males that are there in the Moretrench crew, and that was just us. There was also the GC, there was the concrete contractor, there was the inspectors, and I was the only one. So I realized right away that this is a little bit of an issue. So last year, Greg Ziegler, one of our senior vice presidents, was at a tunneling conference in San Diego, and he was speaking with Bianca Messina from Skanska. And she was talking about their program that they have for women, and she asked him about ours, and he said, we don't have one. So he came back and he approached me and he asked if I'd be willing to start something like this. So we had a lunch and learn with 3 of the women from the Skanska Women's Network, and we devised a plan of how we would attack this within our own company. So this is who we are. These are the female engineers in Moretrench. Now there are only 7 of us. But we developed a mission statement, and we kind of encompass many different levels of experience, ages, our different departments. Dorothea's in contracts. I'm going out to ground freezing. Carrie Ann, the co-chair, she's over there. She's with the grouting department. So we do a lot of different things and we work together, but we all ultimately have the same goal. So here are 2 quick videos of the females working in our office.
I'm Rachel Kim, and I'm a staff engineer. Currently, what I do for Moretrench is I bid work. Without anyone bidding the work, we wouldn't have any work to do. So it's a pretty important job. It involves getting pricing, making sure that what we're designing is suitable for the work. Civil engineering was just the perfect career move for me.
In the field. My name is Johnna Emanuel, and I'm a staff engineer at Moretrench. I graduated from Bucknell University in May of 2015 with a degree in civil engineering. I am on the Eversource Substation 99 project in Boston, Massachusetts, and we're installing micropiles. I've been on the site for about 2 months, but Moretrench has been here a little longer. I've been doing some QA/QC, documentation, construction logging, and reporting on the field production. We work throughout the United States. We have many different divisions within our company between dewatering, ground freezing, deep foundations, earth retention, underpinning. As someone who just came out of college, it was really important for me to be in the rotational program and see the different assets of the company in different areas. You come out of college thinking you really love one thing, but there might be something else in that company that better suits you or you find more interesting, and you would never know unless you tried it. You know the basics from class, and if you can crank numbers and do well on your tests, you're all right. But once you get out here, you really have to be able to communicate. We often have visits from our safety director, and he comes out and he makes sure everything's going smoothly, and everyone watches each other's backs. We make sure, the operators always make sure I'm standing in a good place if they know something's going to happen. Safety glasses and a hard hat and a vest are always required. Here we wear steel-toe boots, and we'll wear hearing protection to protect our ears from the noise of the drill rigs and other machines around us. Coming out here in the field, I've really seen everything I learned in school come to life, and I've also been able to learn so much more than I wouldn't have been able to learn in the classroom by being out here and seeing things being built. I've only been here for a few months, but I've had some time in estimating and now out in the field, which I'm loving. So in the construction industry, the standard is 9% female. And this was part of a 2016 Bureau of Labor Statistics study. But that encompasses all professions in construction. That's from acquiring work to just working in a construction office from an administrative position. That's not purely engineering. So that percentage is even lower. And at Moretrench right now, we're at about 5%. We're smaller, we're mid-sized, so that's decent for us, but our goal is always to increase that. So our vision is to improve the working condition, kind of make other companies aware that these things are important, and to promote ourselves and develop ourselves as engineers in the industry. And aside from all the warm and fuzzy stuff, there's strategic value to companies in having these groups. It's not just, the women benefit, but the company as a whole benefits for these 4 reasons. I'll talk about them quickly. So 20% of graduates are female in engineering schools, but only 11% become practicing engineers. And the question is why, and where do they go, and what are they doing? So part of our goal in fixing that is to go to colleges and career fairs and show women that there are opportunities in engineering, because a lot of times they don't realize what the opportunities are, and then they go elsewhere because they don't really see a fit for themselves. So we try to become female role models for those up and coming graduates. And a lot of our members also go to elementary schools where their children are, and they teach young children that this is an opportunity. When I was little, I wanted to be a vet. Some people want to be a doctor or they want to be a lawyer, but no one ever thinks, I want to go out in the field and measure the stick up of a pile when I get older. Like, that's not an option. So once you kind of bring that to the forefront of their minds, they realize that that's an opportunity for them. And in this graph if you look, so on the bottom, on the x-axis, that's years since graduation. So at around 10 years, which is usually like between 30 and 35, the number of women in the engineering profession drops off dramatically. And that's because at around 30, women are having children, getting married, and they look at their work and they look at themselves and they say, am I going to move up here? Do I want to go there? Do I want to leave this? What do I want to do? And that's kind of where it curtails. So that's a critical pivoting moment in their career where they decide, you know, what am I doing here and do I want to continue this? And a lot of people think that family obligations are the main reason that people leave, and it's actually the lowest. They found that people realize that women realize that they don't have opportunities in their company, or they want more growth, and so they go elsewhere. Another one of our goals is professional development. So that's me at IFC earlier in the year. I got a chance to go down there and be part of one of the Women in Deep Foundation seminars and kind of talk a little bit about our group. And now I'm here talking about this, which is exciting. And we made our members, not made them, but encouraged them to become members of groups like the Professional Women in Construction, and I'm a member of Women in Deep Foundations. And not only be a member, but participate. It's one thing to send in your check every year and put your name on the roster, but like actually become involved, be active. So that's been a great networking kind of outlet for us. And finally, enhancing the corporate culture. If you're happy where you work, your job performance is significantly better. So we use this group as a platform for discussions. Just last week for International Women in Engineering Day, we made pins that say STEMinist on them, which basically encourages women in engineering, and all of the males would pick them up and go, what does this mean? And then we would explain it to them and they would say, oh, I like it, and they would wear it. But it kind of brought that to the forefront of their mind, made them think about it, and made them talk to us about it. They're curious about our group. They ask what we do. We're not the the She-Woman Man-Haters Club. We are not the Breakfast Club. We're talking about real problems that women face. So that's basically what we are, what we do. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to come here and talk about our group. And if there is any interest from other companies to start something like this on their own, please feel free to contact me, and I'd be happy to help you guys out. So thank you.